Campfire started 5 years ago today in Pulga in the Feather River Canyon, and within 4 hours, it ripped all the way across the ridge and burned all the way down to the edge of Chico.
I remember it was a red flag warning day, and Patrick, was this an unusual weather pattern for our region at that time?
Well, usually in November, we are in that transition from summer into winter, and these types of weather conditions with the areas of low pressure moving to our northeast are not unusual, but it is a challenge when it comes to human conditions, and it happened to coincide for the campfire with some unusually dry conditions in our fuel moisture and in our region.
Dry conditions across our region, a fire weather watch.
And we have a red flag warning beginning tomorrow at 5 a.m.
Winds picking up substantially this weekend, driving elevated fire danger.
These are phrases that can send shivers down the spines of those who have seen firsthand the destructive power of a wildfire, but are critical products in the National Weather Service's arsenal to communicate the risk of dangerous fire conditions.
The red flag warning program was originally intended for fire agencies. So it was for the fire agencies to staff accordingly on days where they needed to have more resources in place.
Fire weather watches and red flag warnings are issued when the weather pattern favors strong gusty winds, low humidity, and dry fuels. They can also be issued in situations with lots of lightning and limited rainfall. The National Weather Service says some of the limitations of the current program are differentiating between a minor and a severe or critical fire risk.
The program is undergoing a lot of research right now. There are some test beds out there to kind of look at a tiered program, much like we do for other, weather events. We message color levels. And so is there a way we can do that with fire weather?
The challenge is making sure necessary information gets out to National Weather Service partners and the public in an efficient and clear manner. One product has already been implemented since the campfire.
We also developed something called the particularly dangerous situation, which was actually utilized by the Storm Prediction Center. And now we use it in California for fire weather to let the partners know and the public as well that, there is something out of the norm here or extremely out of the climatological realm.
The Particularly Dangerous Situation, or PDS, was implemented 2 seasons ago and has not seen weather conditions warranting its use so far. The evolution at the National Weather Service stretches beyond alerts. The Weather Service has developed new graphics to communicate with the public and strengthened its communication with other agencies.
The progression of the Sheriff's Department and CAL FIRE and the Weather Service relationship has definitely been for the better. We're way more communicative. I think the public is more aware of these kind of situations and to be prepared.
With research to improve warnings and communication underway, the National Weather Service says they expect more movement in the development of a more robust fire weather alert in the coming years. In Chico, meteorologist Patrick Wright, Action News Now coverage you can count on.
So Patrick, does the National Weather Service factor in things like, what humans are up to on that particular day when they issue these warnings?
Now, that is a factor that you really can't measure, so the National Weather Service primarily focuses on the conditions that the environment is in, such as dry weather, and if the weather patterns such as windy and low humidity will be able to allow those fires to spread rather quickly. Now, the only fire starts that they really focus on are in situations of dry lightning or where there's thunderstorms and just not carrying enough rain reaching the ground, and the lightning can start fires then.
What we certainly learned 5 years ago, Patrick, is it can almost be winter and still have those fires.
Yep.
All right.